Hey, what's going on? It is me, Hansale, back after 2 weeks of break, and this is 433 podcast. Wow. A lot of you have been inboxing me, asking, and a lot, trust me, asking me about the Lionel Messi incident, and those very close to me knows how much I love my Barcelona, how much I love Lionel Messi. A lot of happened, of course, but a big talking point is, of course, as of today, I just heard the press conference. I just want to give a little bit of a shout out to some of our podcast members that has been covering the story, but I just want to let it all out first before I do this episode, because as a football fan, if you just watch the press conference, I think it's inevitable that we feel sad for the guy. I think deep down inside, Leo Messi, he genuinely really loved this club. I think he loves football, and football and Barcelona is up there with him. He's an Argentinian, yes, but Barcelona is the one that make him for what it is today. This platform has been given him to showcase his talent, and I posted on my Insta story about what happened, and this is where politicians and corruptions and money gets the better of talent. In every talent there's always a manager, and there's always a coach on top, and there's always a management, there's always an organization that is taking care of that particular talent, and that's what I mean. A lot of happens, but of course, like what I said, a big talking point. I was shocked when I first found out. I think I was hanging out at my friend's place, just catching up with my friends, and then my Instagram page bombed with a lot of mentions and comments. Probably the main story is Lionel Messi leaving FC Barcelona, as the club announced. This is what the chairman of Barcelona have to say, Joan Laporta. Despite FC Barcelona and Lionel Messi having reached an agreement and the clear intentions of both parties to sign a new contract today, this cannot happen because of financial and structural obstacles. This is mainly directing at La Liga regulations. As a result of this situation, Messi shall not be staying at FC Barcelona. Both parties deeply regret that the wishes of both player and club will ultimately not be fulfilled. FC Barcelona wholeheartedly expresses its gratitude for the player for his contributions to the aggrandizement, toughest word I've ever yet to announce, of the club, and wishing him all the very best for the future in his personal and professional life. Wow, it's really hard to digest what I just witnessed when I first heard it, and I'll get into the press conference later on. What I'm trying to say is that it has been a roller coaster ride throughout the summer. I think it's mainly because I even have words. I can't have words to say. It's really hard to digest all into one. Who was to blame behind this whole ordeal? I'll try to welcome and make our listeners understand as to how this deal never happened. The fact is, to me, it's kind of like I will only believe it once. Before this, right? I will only believe when Messi set out a press conference, and he does, and I just trying to gather of what he says. The thing is, a lot of reports since then has come out and say that this might be a power play for some parties, or negotiations has break down, or is it about money or sporting projects, or having a competitive team? It's not enough. Of course, financial reasons. To me, there is still a whole lot more than meets the eye. Bear in mind, all of this is before today. So I was thinking, like, there's a lot more that we know we need answers, right? But finally today the press conference come out and all questions are answered. So, but I have to put a finger on it. It's FC Barcelona itself. Look, the fact that Messi is willing to take 50% pay cut from earning 110 million per year. And correct me if I'm wrong, shouldn't FC Barcelona have their statistics and calculations right by then? It's a messed up and clowns running the club. But I guess we can't solely blame it on Laporta. No, I'm not gonna, because a lot of the comments have said that, oh, he used Messi's name to get elected. You know, there's a promise of this and that. He promised Aguero, like how he's promised the fans that Messi's gonna sign. I think there was one time during his election he was like, if I was elected, Messi will stay. You know, he put it directly, but he's not the one to blame. He came into this club while it was down to its shelf, really. Anyways, so earlier this week, before the Messi story came out, there were reports saying that La Liga has struck a deal with CVC, which will inherit a lot of money from Spanish league teams. But the problem here is the salary cap set by president of the Spanish La Liga, Javier Tebas, which in by no means necessary Barcelona can meet, even with the money. And now the people at CVC, they have an agreement, but they agree a deal with La Liga, with Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, probably the most marketable athlete in the world. They agreed with him playing his trade in Spanish La Liga. La Liga saying that you have agreed with us, so with Messi or not, you have agreed with us. CVC can come out and say, well, we haven't signed any documents. So it's a little bit of a four-way dance of all parties trying to shift their power balance, and that's why there is a lot more that meets the eye when this story come out. I mean, again, before the Messi press conference. So there is Messi, there is Messi's camp, Barcelona, La Liga, and CVC. So if you think about it, it's Barcelona for me, who knew the salary cap was right. You've been saying all this while, and number one priority is to get Messi to sign. It sounded to me like you got your calculations wrong, and they really screwed the punch up in this place. Another factor is Laporta is convinced that they can get Barcelona senior players like Alba, Sergio Busquets, Gerard Piqué, Antoine Griezmann, Dembele. I hate Dembele, for sure. I hate him. And Samuel Umtiti, all this Coutinho, all these huge mega wage players to cut down their salaries just so that they can meet the La Liga salary cap, and also they can insert Messi's new contract in it as well. But the players refuse. And no offense to the players, but Barcelona is the one that get themselves in this mess. So why should these players take the hit for the club? There's contracts, right? There's black and white. Everything is agreed. It's not illegal. And then from there we move on to the club management, which is not entirely again on Joan Laporta, but the previous owner groups like Bartomeu, or before that Sandro Rosell, who is already in prison because of corruption. He was the guy who bought in Neymar, and there were reports saying that Neymar's father gets incentives with women, and if you know what I mean, you know, but that's a bit far-edged. Let's focus on Bartomeu now. So when you put the blame on Bartomeu, from a general point of view, the people of Barcelona had the chance to get rid of him, of Bartomeu in 2015, but they didn't, because at the time Barcelona won Champions League with Suarez and Neymar and Messi, and everything was rosy. So to back up, it's kind of the fault of Barcelona itself. They are the ones who voted for the president. They are the ones who voted for Bartomeu, because there were signs before they bought in Suarez for that season. There were signs that Bartomeu is, quote unquote, only lives for his own pockets. You know, so the ones who voted for Bartomeu, which get them in the mess in the first place, he's the one at fault, and they are the one at fault who, like, you know, is corrupt, but since you guys won the Champions League that season, you voted for him, you re-elected him, and Jose Von and current president Joan Laporta was contesting him at the time. So As someone who followed this story very much, I have zero sympathy for Barcelona. I don't blame the players on refusing to have a pay cut, which some of these players agreed on a lengthy contract and is the reason as to why they don't want to leave or team wanting to associate with these players. And by that I mean teams don't want to buy this group of players in Barcelona. I mean we can go merry-go-round, but in the end they only have themselves to blame for losing the greatest player of all time on a free transfer, by the way. Okay, but anyways, this is all a complete mess, and let's go over now to the press conference. This is what Lionel Messi had to say. He was in tears when he first came in. Last year I didn't want to stay, and I said it. This year I wanted to stay and I couldn't. PSG, it's honestly one possibility. I've nothing confirmed with anybody. I had a lot of calls from clubs that are interested. I'm grateful for the entire career I've had, the titles we won, but the defeats as well, because they've made me learn and grow. Yes, this is the most difficult moment in my career. There's no going back. This is the end here. I feel sad because I have to leave this club at a time when I was not expecting it. Barcelona are one of the best clubs in the world. More players will come, not just now but in the future. Like Laporta said, this club is more important than a single person. At first it will be weird, but people will get used to it. When the elections were over, we ate with Laporta and talked, and from that moment I was convinced that I'll continue. The contract was never a problem. Then what happened, but I had no doubts about staying. For these fans, I'm willing to do anything, and yes, I would like to come back in the future and have a tribute. Regarding some of the questions that were being asked, false hopes, no, we are all clear and convinced that I was going to stay here. We had everything agreed and there was no problem. We were always honest with people, at least on my part. And regarding Javier Tebas, I have nothing to say to him. I never said anything. I have seen him a couple of times and we had a cordial greeting. I have no problems with him. The people of Barca know me. They know that I'm a winner, and the last years of my career I want to keep on adding titles. The photo with PSG's players, it was a coincidence. It was just a joke. He also take time to congratulate Dani Alves for the Olympic gold that he has won. I'm very close to him. He also answers, how many more years can I play? I don't know. It depends on how I feel each season and how my physical condition is. The club has a very big debt and they don't want to worsen it. I did my best to stay and it couldn't. I can't say more. We could have achieved at least one more Champions League. One of my goals is to win the Champions League again and more titles. I had lowered my salary by 50% and then nothing was asked of me anymore. We did everything possible. They didn't ask for another 30% of salary deduction. That's a lie. And that's conclude Messi's press conference. I mean, you can tell from here, if you watch it live, you can tell that Lionel Messi, he really doesn't want to leave. I mean, and I don't blame him either, because it's not one of those specials where the clubs, he really said he doesn't want to leave, but actually it's because of money. No, I think there were reports and facts. I think the contracts was being displayed online, saying that he has there's a mutual agreement, but the fact of the matter is all parties involved have agreed except the league rules and regulations itself. So it's not that Barcelona forced Messi to go or Messi forced Barcelona to go, but a lot of fans are going to be pointing to Joan Laporta that he used Lionel Messi's name to get an election and now end up that he can't, because I wouldn't be doing that too much, because I think that he came in this club knowing that there's a debt, but he came in this club again like a deeper kind of debt, and thanks to the previous parties, and just what Pep Guardiola says is Joan Laporta will be taking the blame for all this, and I feel so sorry for him, because I have good memories when it comes to Joan Laporta. He hired Pep Guardiola, and that team was undefeated. It was unbeatable, almost unplayable at times, So it's it's really hard to digest all this. It's gonna be really weird as well to see Messi. If he does goes to PSG, it looks like there's another team that just came in with an offer, a third team. For me personally, I would love to see him in the Premier League with Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. But I don't think that's gonna happen. Just wrong timing, I guess. Because I think Pep Guardiola says that he was convinced Messi is gonna stay, so they didn't go after him. And on the day Messi announced that he won't be continuing at Barcelona, Manchester City signing Jack Grealish and gave him the number 10. I don't think a number jersey is the probability here. I think there were reports saying that Neymar wanted to give Messi the number 10, but Messi declined. So I think if Messi were to join PSG, he will be wearing the number 19. So it's truly the end of an era, and I cannot believe I'll be doing a podcast saying Lionel Messi's name but not Barcelona. And you know what? I have to tell you the truth is that I watch French League, but I didn't watch it with constance, like games like Angers against Lille or Bordeaux against Marseille. And I think since we're gonna be covering a lot, and it's just because of it's Lionel Messi playing in the league, we're gonna be covering a lot of French League this time around. It's not biased, it's just the way it is. When you have a superstar in your league, you're just gonna bring eyeballs. But you know what, as someone who followed Lionel Messi very, very closely, he's definitely my all-time favorite. The best memory I have with him was the goal against Getafe, the goal against Real Madrid, and the assist to David Villa on the Clasico in that 5-0 win. And of course the free kick against Liverpool as well. But I don't know. I think the individual goal against Real Madrid in the semi-finals of the Champions League against Real Madrid, with Jose Mourinho's playing so negative, so full of trying to kick Lionel Messi out of the game, but in the end he shows greatness. I think that's the best memory of Lionel Messi in a Barcelona shirt. So sorry, that's my cat over there. Yeah, but that is what it is, and I'm still struggling with words actually while I'm watching all this Twitter thread, this ESPN FC's coverage, and I cannot believe Lionel Messi is not a Barcelona shirt, and that's the third time I'm announcing. So that's my best memory of him. There's a lot more. The goal against Betis, the goal against I think Villarreal, that free kick, top corner, the hat trick against Real Madrid twice, and it's gonna be weird seeing him in a PSG shirt. It's gonna be even weirder to see him and Sergio Ramos combining together. Can you believe that? Lionel Messi with a corner or a free kick, Sergio Ramos hit it home, and Sergio Ramos celebrated by pointing to Lionel Messi. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is gonna happen. And this is not a new episode. This is just a heads up here. It's 433 shootout, and we'll be posting. Follow us on our Instagram. I'll be carrying on. Oh yes, I forgot to update you. We haven't been in on an episode on here in our 433 podcast. It's just I was hospitalized. It's something to do with my neck, and I can't speak. I can't speak too much, but we'll be carrying on episode 28. I just got another announcement that I'm gonna be taking. It's gonna be season 1 wrap up by episode number 30. So 2 more episodes, and then we'll wrap up, and then we'll take a break, and we'll continue season 2 for sure. All right. In the meantime, this is Hansali. I'm signing out here on a Lionel Messi special of 433 shootout.